What I will say is it's not over. And I'm not trying to sound an alarm. If you look at the two suspects, they have similar connections.
I agree. We've pointed that out on the podcast.
Yes, they have similar connections with certain groups. And I'm saying it here now, and I hope it doesn't happen. We're not done yet. I do believe that there will be another attempt.
Yeah, look, there he is.
Because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people.
On top of the roof, over there.
We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here. It's much tougher than it happened.
And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that
Oh, man, guys, that's some hard stuff to watch. This thing that took place just a few months ago, back in July. Just a very scary day for our country. Very scary day. And now today, Donald Trump is returning to Butler, Pennsylvania to finish his speech, returning to where it all started, where the evil Trump haters of the world tried to end his life, empowered by all this evil rhetoric, all this hateful words that have been said about this man through the mainstream media, through celebrity personalities and politicians. All these words about Donald Trump being Hitler, being the devil, being the most evil person on the planet. He'll destroy the world. He'll destroy America. He'll destroy your life.
I was raised knowing that there will be some people who will use their voice in a way that is meant to dehumanize. And I would interpret it, I think, then as I do now, which it is language that is meant to divide us. It is language that I think people have rightly found similar to the language of Hitler.
He'll put you in chains. He'll on and on and on. They've inspired people, you see, with all this hate. They've inspired people to go out and take it into their own hands, take the country's future into their own hands and try to take the life of one of our leaders, one of our politicians, the guy leading in the polls, and a former president of the United States of America. There was a time when something like this would have unified the country across the board. We need to get back to that time. Guys, welcome to another episode of the Southern Drawl Podcast right here at Southern Traditions. We are so glad you're watching. We're so glad you're here. And we're going to cover all of this stuff and more. Let's get it. So we're glad to see Trump did survive both of those events. We are glad to see that that they failed. They failed in their attempts. They have tried to destroy his character. They've tried to destroy his business. They've made up fake laws and crimes against him to try to imprison him. They've tried to find every reason and loophole in the world to prevent him from running for office. They've labeled him with all kinds of horrible names, as we said. And when all that failed to get the job done, they tried to kill him. Are they done? Are they finished? Our thoughts are, we hope so. Our prayers are, we hope he'll be safe. We pray all the time that there'll be protection not only for Donald Trump, but for all of the people that are serving alongside of him, all of the men and women who put their lives on the line to keep these events safe. We pray that the other politicians on the other side of the aisle will also be safe. Thankfully, there's been no violence towards those individuals, and we are very happy for that. We hope that stays the case. Guys, we don't in this country, we don't have to resort to violence for these sort of things. It's not necessary. They can push us to those points if they really want to, but there's no need for violence here. We have the ability to vote. And on November 5th, we have the ability to change everything the way we see it, the way we want it to be. And on November 5th, we have the ability to make our voices heard. We have the ability to change the future of this nation. And it's not with a firearm. No, guys, it's not. It's with a voter ballot. So go out and vote on November 5th. If you don't want Trump to be president, go vote against him. If you don't want Kamala to be president, like I don't, I'm going to vote against her. That's the pathway. That's what makes this country the greatest country in the world. It's the power in the hands of the people, and we need that back in this country more than ever right now. Guys, we did have the opportunity here in Southern Traditions last weekend, a week ago. We traveled out to Texas, Austin, Texas area. It was a beautiful road trip, and Texas is a beautiful state. Everybody there, so hospitable. Just everybody treated us like family. It was just a wonderful time. We attended an event with J.P. Sears called Awaken with Freedom, the first such event of its kind. The event was wonderful. We got to see a lot of comedians, political comedy, talking about all the things going on here in the country. It was just absolutely hilarious as far as that goes. Also got to hear from Mickey Willis. That would be the cinematographer and producer of the Plandemic series, which, by the way, if you have not seen the Plandemic series, I strongly recommend you go check that out. It is literally the most censored video series, documentary series in the world right now. Still has over 1 billion views, guys. That's like JP pointed out during the event, that's the beautiful thing about all of this. They can censor us all they want, but they will not stop the truth from coming out. The Bible says what's done in the dark will come to the light. Well, guess what? It's coming to the light. 2024, the year of awakening. People are seeing the bullshit for what it is, and people are calling it out. People are standing against it and standing up for truth. More and more people all the time are putting aside and leaving behind and unsubscribing to the mainstream media rhetoric, the lies that they feed you through your TV. Let them keep feeding those lies, because truth can be found in other places. We aim to expose some of that truth, and we're going to try to do that right now. While we were out in Texas, we got to sit down with an individual by the name of Scott. I believe Oshan is his last name, Scott Oshan. He owns a company called Integrated Security Solutions Group. This company is a security agency. They provide security for events and for personal security for high-end clients. What kind of high-end clients? Well, presidential candidates in the past, as well as other politicians and celebrities. These guys know what they're doing. They're top of their game. They've done a great job. They did a great job that last weekend at the Awaken with Freedom event with J.P. Sears. Just a fantastic job. Scott was an incredible guy. He's just such a personable dude. He sat down, talked with us for a good bit, told us all about the history of the venue that we were at, gave us a lot of information there. So we're going to share some of that with you right now so you guys can hear from Scott and what he thinks about all of this stuff going on politically in our country concerning especially these assassination attempts against Donald Trump. We are standing here, guys. We're standing here with Scott. He is head of the security team that is basically keeping us safe while we're here tonight. So, so you guys do a lot of security? Or you got a whole team together?
Yes. So we're based out of Austin. We're Integrated Security Solutions Group.
Okay.
ISSG for short.
Gotcha.
But we are licensed in Florida, New York, California. We do more of the higher end security, but we just add a different tier of security. And so the training's a little more intense.
Sure.
Most of our stuff is what we call personal protection work, like we're doing for JP tonight, as we've done in the past with others. Actually, next week we will be up in Dallas with another representative, Mr. Colin.
Oh, okay.
He's got a pop-up, so
Nice.
we work both sides of the fence. We just keep it neutral. We're like Switzerland, but you know, so we're anyway,
We get it.
Yeah, it's good.
Gotta
though.
spread the love.
Yeah, got to spread the love. But yeah, it's great.
Guys, this is the man. If you're a
Appreciate
high-end
you.
client, which we hope to be one day, we'll be
You're
giving
already
this
on.
guy a
You're
call.
already here. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Pleasure to meet you,
got it,
man. Yeah, thank you. So, hey guys, we are here at this Freedom with JP, or what is it, Awaken with Freedom, with JP Sears. This is Scott. Scott, what are you head of security of?
Life. No. Company's Integrated Security Solutions Group, ISSG. We are currently doing JP Sears security for this one show in particular because it was a meet and greet and because of the location, outdoor venue. They needed a little extra help.
So you do high-end clients most often?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, I do.
So you've done even presidential candidates?
I have, one with 3 initials and a junior.
Nice. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That being said, I was curious. Could you give us like a rundown of like what kind of things you guys do whenever you have such a high-end client like that? Like, what's a general? Walk me through like how you secure a.
All right. So we'll take this venue. So when we come in, prior to coming in, we'll do a full walkthrough with his representatives or her representatives, depending on who it is.
Sure.
Show them the perimeter and basically show them all points of egress, emergency exits, so on and so forth. We get with the client, let them know, here's the emergency plan. They get the emergency plan. Then what we do is the day before the show, just as we did today, we do a full sweep, perimeter sweep above the premises. Sometimes we even do drone surveillance. Generally what I'll do is I'll point out on a Google map the areas of concern and I send that to the client.
Okay.
Throughout the night, we have 1 or 2 individuals that are looking with binoculars, just checking things out, and basically just keeping a nice, what we call safe bubble. Like if you saw tonight, we were near, but we were not like right there.
Right.
With the other individual, we had to be a little closer because we had some concerns, especially in Austin, where we saw things on social media that raised that flag.
Gotcha.
So basically, we are always definitely in communication with their people and the other individuals, the tour manager people.
So you guys are looking at not just what's going on here. You guys are analyzing the social media.
Oh yeah. So
stuff,
even tonight before the show, before we started, we did a social media sweep. We did it up until the first comedian went on.
Wow.
And we're not so much looking for the people who say this and this one sucks, or we're looking for the people that will make that hidden threat. And unfortunately, that goes past and is ignored quite a bit these days.
Yeah.
But the last assassination attempt,
we had that. Get into that, right?
Well, we might as well just let's get into it, man.
So yeah, okay. So I've got concerns there. Like with 2 assassination attempts at this point on DJT. What's going wrong here? First off, let me just ask you. Let me start off with this. Have you worked with Secret Service at all?
I have, but with an individual that I don't even know if I should name on your podcast.
Sure.
Her name starts with an H.
Okay.
And it ends with a C. It's Hillary Clinton.
Oh.
So, and this is when she was the senator of New York. We had to work with her. So it was right after 9/11.
Okay.
And in New York, it was very intense. Like a car would backfire, people would drop. It was a very intense time for our country.
Sure.
The country bonded together, but unfortunately, she was too busy selling her book.
Gotcha.
We had to work with the Secret Service. The situation here, and again, this is from a strictly security view, is your first assassination attempt was a complete meltdown of all of, whether it's the police, the Secret Service, it was a meltdown.
Sure.
There's no way that could have happened had people been briefed properly. We all know, and it came out, that he was given like the C squad of the Secret Service. So basically, we gave better security to RFK than the Secret Service gave to Trump, honestly.
Sure.
The second attempt, again, was a flagrant, maybe a little better. They were getting better, but again, there was this disconnect. And There's huge theories about it.
Yeah, I wondered how a guy could be set up in the bushes on a golf course that he's going to be playing at for 12 hours, they're saying at this point.
Well, but here's the thing. If you recall, this was a last-minute
Right.
deviation to go play golf.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So there's no way that guy, I'm getting into my New York accent, that guy had just a random show up to see if we're going to be there was some kind of
I agree with
information sent to
I'd
them.
say
Now,
that.
from whom, I won't speculate. What I will say is it's not over. And I'm not trying to sound an alarm. If you look at the two suspects, they have similar connections.
I agree. We've pointed that out on the podcast.
Yes, they have similar connections with certain groups. And I'm saying it here now, and I hope it doesn't happen. We're not done yet. I do believe that there will be another attempt.
Our congressman from Florida, one of our congressmen from Florida, or rather representatives, is Matt Gaetz.
Yes.
So Matt Gaetz has publicly stated that there are hit teams in the United States, 5 of them, that are essentially gunning for Trump at this point.
You know, I can't confirm or deny that. What I can say is it wouldn't surprise me. I find it interesting, and I forgot which it was a congressman said in all the years that Joe Biden's been in office, no one's ever tried to assassinate him.
Yeah, right.
Or Kamala.
Or any of them. Honestly, at this point, this is the first time this has happened.
Right, and this is really, if you think about it, it's unprecedented. We've had assassinations and assassinations attempt, Ronald Reagan, of course, JFK.
Sure.
But it was a one-time deal. There wasn't a repetitive action or a repetitive call to arms to try to assassinate
Right, I agree.
someone who's running for president, a former president.
Sure.
And there's not enough being done.
No, I agree.
There is absolutely not enough being done. And quite frankly, I find it appalling that our government is allowing this to happen. But the problem is, it's not just on one side. There are people in the GOP who are not really happy with Mr. Trump, President Trump, right?
Too, yeah.
So you have to look, if you want to talk about if there's any bipartisanship, it may be in this. Yeah. And again, that's just my own opinion.
And that's really kind of the saddest place we could have bipartisanship.
Well, yeah, you don't need it for that. But, maybe we can get other crap done if we weren't too busy trying to assassinate the president. But
it's a good point. Do you think that the Secret Service has the resources? Do you think that they are equipped at this point
absolutely
to
not.
combat this threat?
Historically, for the last, I want to say 7-8 years, Secret Service has been sorely understaffed. Sorely understaffed. They have been. I don't know if you guys recall, a couple years ago, they had to fire a bunch of them because they were in Jamaica or Haiti, or they were supposed to be on detail, but they were with prostitutes, and they were, that whole thing. And again, so what they're doing is they're pulling from different areas. So let's go back to the first Trump assassination attempt. The female Secret Service agent who ducked behind Trump could not holster her gun.
Yeah.
Look, I teach people basic security that would have done better. And then I really don't care what people think about that.
I've also heard
pathetic.
that there were some Homeland Security people on that detail that had been previously investigating some very small crime types or even big crime types, but not in the sense of protecting an asset.
Right. So, and that's the thing. You can say it all you want. I cannot tell you how many people tell me they're a bodyguard. Until you actually do and actually work that and get trained for it properly, you're no good.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
Well, you've kind of already alluded to the fact that you've been doing this a while with the HC comments. How long have you been?
This is my 30th year in the industry.
30 years. Were you military beforehand?
No, I was just a street kid from New York. I got into school. I needed to make some money, started bouncing, and here we are. So I started in New York. I was at the Twin Towers. I did lose staff at 9/11. And so that's why when I hear things about this, I don't understand where our country has gone. I don't understand how people who used to be connected, it didn't matter what side of the fence you were on.
Sure.
We were all together. At 9/11, as you heard it, he was there at 9/11.
Right,
we were there, and we also did search and rescue. And at night, there was one bar that never closed. We were always there. It didn't matter who you were, Democrat, Republican, Green Party, liberal, it didn't matter. We all got together for the cause of one thing, and that was America.
Yes.
And that's all I can say to that. And I hope one day that we can do that again.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We got to be able to fly that flag as a whole.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know that there for a long time you saw flags flying on every street,
That's
every
right,
yard,
man.
and every-
Didn't matter who you were.
It's gone away at this point. There's
yeah.
this definite, palpable tension where there's a difference between people that love the country and people that hate the country, essentially.
Yeah.
Do you think that Donald Trump at this point needs to hire his own security staff? Or
I think
security details.
I definitely think that Donald Trump needs more assistance. How that comes about, I don't know.
Yeah.
Biden said he was going to look into it. The bottom line is he is not being protected enough.
Sure, I agree with that.
And when you bring in a private security company, as long as I've been doing that, there are still cracks in that foundation.
Right.
The vetting process takes a while, so it would not just happen overnight.
Sure.
President Trump could not just say, hey, I need this team. Even with us, I'm not just going to put anybody there. You have to vet the people that are there, because you may have somebody who may not like Donald Trump.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it's really, even with this, certain people I did not bring because they expressed that they did not want to work. And I was like, fine, that's fine. Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah.
So I think he's got a little situation on his hands.
I have my opinions on this particular matter, but just from what you've seen, it's obviously you guys dig into this stuff in a big way, probably deeper levels than what we have access to. It seems to me like these last two attempts, you've said already that they seem to have some connections. Those connections, do we feel like they're being funded or put up to this by the same?
I don't know if they're funded. I do know that they're being fed or information. I can't say funding. I really can't. I don't see any proof of that. What I do see is information being given to people via some kind of circuit, some kind of circle of people that are up to something. Again, like I said, if you look at the connections between the two individuals, there's a very strong connection. Yeah. Plus, this guy had, 100 previous charges or something against him? Ridiculous. So there's something there. And they need to focus. I don't know why it's taking so long. They have more than enough evidence. They should be all over this. They really should be, and they're not.
Well, Scott, I appreciate your time,
Thank
brother.
you.
I know we got
appreciate
into some pretty heavy topics.
It's good. Yeah,
we appreciate it.
I'm a little opinionated sometimes, but you know what? It is what it is.
At this point, so.
And when you're in security, you have to play the neutral line. But we have to remember that we're not only looking at the safety of the people we're protecting, we're also looking at the safety of ourselves and the people around us. The complete collapse of the Secret Service on both attempts is abysmal.
Absolutely. Agreed.
All right.
Scott, thanks so much, buddy.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. You heard Scott say that the way everything looks, it doesn't look like they're finished. Secret Service does not have enough resources. They're not doing the proper job to protect him adequately. They need more resources. They need the right people in there too. Properly vetted people, properly trained people. Guys, we hope and pray every day we do not see another attempt on Donald Trump's life. We hope and pray every day that he will be safe, that all of these candidates will be safe on both sides of the aisle. We have the ability in this country, so what makes this country so amazing, that we have the power as the people of the nation to go and vote for the person that we want, to go and vote against the people we don't want, to go and vote against the legislation we don't want. We have the ability to change the direction of our future in this country. And it's not by doing what these two lunatics tried to do in a single instant. No, it takes the voice of the people uniting together as one nation and voting on what we want to do, what direction we want to go in. Bottom line is they tried to take away our choice. They tried to take away our ability to choose. They tried to undo our ability to be heard. They tried to undo our power and tried to force upon us things that we do not want. That seems to be a running theme these days. But Donald Trump's headed back to Butler because he's not afraid. He is not afraid. He is a strong, strong candidate. He will not give in to fear and be pushed aside. And we all remember his first action after this whole thing was after he literally took a bullet to the side of the face, his first action was to stand up and tell us to fight. Tell us to fight. All the iconic photos that came out of this event. We all remember that. But Donald Trump is not afraid. He has returned to Butler to finish what he started. And I believe he'll do just that. The crowds have already started amassing outside of the rally here with lots and lots of supporters. MAGA Nation has risen up to come and welcome him back to Butler. It does appear that the security has been increased to a great degree. I've seen videos of the counter sniper teams up on the rooftops. Let's hope that they stay there this time. After last time, I'm sure that they will. They're probably not going anywhere. This was the overwhelming response of the mainstream lying news media after this whole thing happened the first time and the second time. Just loud noises. Nobody even got hurt. Calm down. But then fight, fight, fight is hateful, violent rhetoric somehow. What a joke. Guys, I'm telling you, we have to defund this mainstream media. Defund these people. Unsubscribe to their channels. Unsubscribe to their newspapers and their online outlets. Unsubscribe to them, man. Stop giving them your money so they can lie to you more. You give them the power to lie as long as you support them. They have no truth to offer you. Only their biased viewpoints and the propaganda that accompanies it. Don't listen to these people, man. These are the same people that are fighting every day to keep voices like mine and others that are trying to give you some truth from being heard. They certainly don't want you to hear what we have to say. They certainly don't want your opinion out there. Remember this guy, just literally a few weeks, 6 weeks after the first attempt, and this lunatic here comes out trying to end Donald Trump's life. Thankfully, he also failed. But Trump's not letting this stuff get him down. He's not letting this stuff get him down. He's going to return to Butler. As you can see, the crowds are massive. He's going to be speaking tonight at 5 p.m. So you should tune into that because from what I understand, he's going to be picking up right where he left off. They have saved a seat in honor of the firefighter who lost his life in the Butler shooting. I think that is just an amazing thing to do for this guy, to honor him in this way. I have also heard his family is going to be attending the event tonight at 5. So, guys, be in prayer for the family of that fallen firefighter, Corey Comportor. So Donald Trump was asked, what are you going to say when you go back? I love his response here. Check this out, guys.
I hear you're going back to Butler and finish the speech.
I am. I'm going to say, as I was saying.
Yeah.
Right? That was a tough day, and
as I was saying,
I don't recommend it for anybody. I got very lucky, or maybe more than luck.
Yeah, if you don't turn your head and start talking about the immigration chart at the precise moment, it's a problem.
If I don't turn my head at the exact 90-degree angle, if I was a little off one way or the other, it's I'm not doing this very nice interview with you. I wouldn't be around to do this interview.
I hear you're going back to Butler and finish the speech.
I am. I'm going to say, as I was saying.
Yeah.
Right?
As I was saying, man, I'll tell you what, that's That's strength right there, guys. That's bravery. To be able to stand on a stage where you nearly were killed just a few short months ago. Stand on that same stage and finish speaking. Now, I heard they have bulletproof glass and all that stuff. They've actually got their counter sniper teams in place this time around. So hopefully there'll be no shenanigans tonight. But we do worry about the safety of this man every day and everything that he does, because it seems that they are really trying hard. And like Scott was saying in the interview there earlier, there's a good chance they're not done. Just the way everything looks, there could very well be another attempt. When is that going to come? Is that going to come before the elections? Is it going to come right after? You got to think, guys, we still have to certify these elections even when he does win. When he wins. Because let's hope and pray that he actually wins this thing. I can't imagine it going the other way. I don't believe the country can take it. I don't believe the country can survive another 4 years under the current tyranny in which we find ourselves. But that's just what I think, guys. You let me know what you think down in the comments. As we go out here, I'm going to leave you with a few clips from the Awaken with Freedom event that we were so blessed to attend. Just a wonderful, wonderful event. JP, you're doing a great job with that. I would recommend anybody, if you have the time to go check out JP Sears, please go do that. It's at Awaken with JP on some of the social media sites here. YouTube, I believe, is Awaken with JP. And he's on some of the other platforms. But go check him out live, man. He's traveling around. He's doing a lot of shows. He is absolutely hilarious, and so are his all of his compadres. And then Mickey Willis's Plandemic series. Make sure you go check that out. It's an eye opener. I'll just say that it's an eye opener. And Mickey Willis and their crew, they are putting out more stuff all the time. There's some. They've got a lot of new projects in the works, so keep an eye out for that. Follow him as well. I believe at Mickey Willis is his handle on most of these platforms. There's also, you can just look up directly the Plandemic series. So check that stuff out. YouTube has censored it, but you can find it at Plandemic. I believe plandemic.com is the website for that. It's all free. You don't have to pay for any of it. He's putting it out there for you. He's trying to expose truth. He's not trying to charge you for it. He wants you to know the truth. That goes back to something I said yesterday concerning all this shenanigans up in North Carolina. What do any of us who aren't getting paid to do this for you, who aren't benefiting from any of this, what do any of us have to gain by exposing this truth? What do any of us have to gain? The ones who are lying to you have everything to lose by you learning the truth. They have everything to lose. If you learn the truth, they lose. You understand that? That's why they are lying to you the way they are. But that's just my thoughts. Like I said, leave your comments in the down below. We'll be happy to discuss any of this with you. Until next time, enjoy the video clips from the Awaken with Freedom event. Be free. Be blessed. Peace.
But if you are a freedom lover, I think the equation is pretty simple. What we've done and what we're trying to do with other people is simply wake people up to think for themselves.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't need to brainwash anybody with our beliefs. We don't have to brainwash them with any other agenda. There's a magic when people start thinking for themselves, because the light of truth, that can't be censored. You can censor people's awareness of that truth, but I believe the light of truth comes from God, and it goes into all of us as humans.
Amen, brother. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on. Yeah. Oh, wait, sorry, it's the wrong.
Oh, there's more.
There we go. All right. Hey. Okay. Yeah, America, yeah. Yeah.
Fisher.
Hey, how about a hand for JP Sears, huh? This is great. Look at this woman. Rushing the stage already. My work here is done, man.
Something about these people.
They're rapists. killer sway he does. Dude, that's could have saved his life, that swivel. He's like on a... Nobody's gone this fast. 34 indictments. Nobody could do it. El Chapo couldn't do it. What a failure. 22 counts. Al Capone, 29 counts. What a failure. The Zodiac Killer. I call him the Zodiac Loser. Think of that.
State Representative Ellen Troxclair, ladies and gentlemen. And as Ellen is up for re-election in November, Ellen, could you share, I gave just a brief summary, but a little bit about what you want to do and what's important to you?
All right. Hey, raise your hand if you know out here what the difference is between a man and a woman. Yeah, we're pretty good about that? Well, in Texas, I filed a bill last session, our first legislative session, to say we're going to put into state statute the difference between a man and a woman. It didn't pass. It did not pass. So guess what? We're going back in January. We've got the support of Riley Gaines, and we're going to pass a Women's Bill of Rights so that everyone in Texas and everyone who's getting benefits from the state of Texas because of their gender are doing so because they are a biological man or biological woman. Can I get an amen? Yes.
Amazing father. His children are just little droplets of God. He has an amazing wife. He's an amazing husband. And he's also just changing the world at the same time. His film series, the Plandemic series, recent musical just came out. 3 other films in the series. The most censored documentaries in human history. But here's what's awesome about that. It reminds us that truth conquers. In spite of being censored everywhere, the light of truth has come out and it is setting us free. His Plandemic films have been viewed over 1 billion times in spite of massive censorship. Please welcome to the stage my dear brother, Mr. Mickey Willis. In your pursuit of truth, and quite honestly, seemingly risking everything, risking a lot, what have you learned? And I'll just start at the Plandemic film series, where they've tried to smear you, they've tried to take you down, FBI watch list, all the things. What have you learned during that time?
Well, one of the things I learned is that that's old saying that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger is true. I don't actually consider myself an overtly brave person, but the more they push me, the more they risk all of our children, the more I find myself stepping into a courage that I didn't even know existed within me.